Hey there. Although I am involved with CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada, the views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the participants and do not reflect those of CADAC. And now, cue the music.
This is the Impulsive Thinker Podcast, a show for high-achieving ADHD entrepreneurs. Together, we will inform and educate you about how to improve your self-awareness while developing systems, routines, and habits for conquering the entrepreneurial world. Here is your host, André Brisson.
Hello, it's André here with the Impulsive Thinker Podcast for another short. The other day, we had a new engineer join us at my engineering company, Objective Engineering. And man, he's a very nice guy. He always has to say hi to everyone in the morning. And if he doesn't get a response, he just almost has to get that response. And that got me to thinking. I understand that others perceive that as being rude when I don't say hi back. Could be anywhere, be at the office, could be out in public, could be at home even. And I appreciate that he takes the time and wants everyone to have a good day and say hello, because he does appreciate being with us. He does appreciate the relationship that we have and what we can build. But the problem is when he comes in and says hello, it's when he comes in and starts his morning. And for me, I'm already knee deep, and my time to do creative stuff and the ability I can hyper focus and get no distractions is like really early in the morning and first thing. So once I finally get into my flow where I can hyper focus and I'm on a roll, man, I cannot turn, even just simply turning and say, hi, Jerry, how are you this morning? I can't afford that mental energy wise, I can't afford to stop because I can't just stop quickly and go back to it. I'm out. I've lost my flow. I'm out of hyper focus. I'm going to get distraction, continue the conversation. Then it's going to take me 45 minutes to get back into it if I'm lucky. So it's not that I'm, ignoring it and I don't care. It's just I'm into a hyper focus flow and I don't want to interrupt it because I know it's going to be tough. Because 9 times out of 10, it's taking me half an hour to 45 minutes to finally get started on that task and get going. And when I'm in it, I don't want to stop. And I can't stop until it's done because I can't get back to it. That's the challenge with the hyper focus and how our brain can stay focused on something. So again, like I talked about I can't always say goodbye, dear, or I don't always say goodbye, dear, is I'm lost in my brain. I'm in there. Either I hear him saying hello, or times I don't even hear. So either I can register it, catch and say, no, I can't, I got to keep focusing. And even just acknowledge, says, yeah, thanks, I got to focus. Just me saying that's a stop if I say, hey man, nice to see you, but I got to work. That's enough of a break to screw up my flow, get out of hyperfocus, and I got to start over again. So I consciously just ignore it. And at times I don't even hear it. I don't even hear it until they come right up to my face to say hello or whatnot, if I'm really deep in the hyperfocus. So being lost in my head, can't hear it. I think the brain does, to a certain extent, say, all right, man, I'm going to protect you. You're in hyperfocus mode. Congratulations. Well done. But I'm going to have your ears not really work. I'm going to register what everyone's saying, but I'm just not going to allow it to distract you so you can keep hyper-focusing. And that's where a lot of people misinterpret or perceive it as just being rude and ignoring. And honestly, maybe this is the Asperger's in me, the Asperger's from the autism scale, but that's one of those social conventions I just never quite understood, is if you don't follow the social convention of someone saying hi to you and you have to say hi back, it's you must be rude, you're ignorant, you're not a good person. And that social convention makes no sense. It's just, how about why don't we just stop and say, hey, why are they not saying hi back? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe they're busy, or maybe they're distracted. Maybe they're not having a good day and just need to be alone. No, it's always back to them and how they were slighted by not returning this social cue. Anyways, that's my rant on that. But the one thing I want to point out here is, and this is more, I think this short is a lot more to do with the neurotypical people. I think with all the ADHD brainers people are listening, you get this. But for the neurotypicals, especially if you're a leader in your team, I just start to communicate this with people. It's not that I'm ignoring you or I don't like you. It's just once I'm in flow, I can't stop it. And it's just communicating. And they need to understand that. he can still say hi. I'm not going to stop him from saying hi to me. But at the same time, he needs to understand, or your staff needs to understand, that you may not say hi back and it has nothing to do with them being upset with you or they're being rude. They're just in hyper-focus mode. And when we're in hyper-focus mode, man, just that little time of going, hi, Jerry, how are you? I'm out. My flow, my hyper-focus is done. And it'll take so much effort to get back into it. So that's a tactic that I use. I'm sorry, but I have to ignore it. I have to keep going or nothing's going to get done, right? And then for me, I know especially if I interrupt myself or I let myself get distracted, then I get really upset with myself. And then it just snowballs into more procrastination, more wasted time, and just getting that rumination of just, instead of just letting it go, Andre, let it go, move on. It's tough. It's a cognitive effort, and I got to do it. And I'm getting better. I'm not still happy where I'm, but it's definitely a thing. But it's a tactic on me to just say, Andre, you're not responding to that because you cannot get back into flow. And I've accepted that, and I communicate it. So hyperfocus is a very important strength of mine, and for most ADHD entrepreneurs. And once we get into that flow, man, we don't want to stop. That's that dopamine is finally there. It's hard for us to get to. But, just remember, everyone, just because we don't say hi back doesn't mean we're upset with you or we're ignoring you or we just don't care. We do. I would just ask that the perceptions or the misinterpretations that you're assuming are just that, assumptions. Are the assumptions true and valid? Just like in the CBT, the cognitive behavioral therapy. Is that emotion or thought or fact true? We all got to look at that. Anyways, long story short, I may not always say hi, but I do appreciate people saying hi. Yet when I'm in hyper-focus mode, I do not want to let myself be distracted because I'm finally doing something that I can get done quickly and I'm enjoying. Thanks again for listening. It's Andre with the Impulsive Thinker podcast. I'd like to hear what you thought about this episode. And honestly, please share this episode with other neurotypicals, even your team. I challenge you, share this episode with your team. It's short. Then they can actually get an appreciation or learn a little bit about the ADHD brain entrepreneur that you are. And it's not making excuses. It's explaining what's happening and for everyone to better understand and not come to judgments that are toxic. Thanks again for listening. I appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Impulsive Thinker podcast. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for the show, please visit theimpulsivethinker.com. The Impulsive Thinker podcast is produced by Tactical Breakthroughs and hosted by André Brisson. Remember, ADHD is only a part of you, not all of you.